We're going to work for about 90 minutes, I don't know, as long as it takes. And afterwards, I'll give you guys a break and then we'll move on to the verbal. Verbal today, we're going to do a verbal section. You guys are going to do a verbal section, an entire section, and then we'll talk about it together. Got it? So I asked you guys to bring the McGraw-Hill book today. Those of you who don't want to do the verbal section can just leave in about 90 minutes. It's up to you guys if you want. But please be ready because after the McGraw-Hill, we're going to move on to the College Board, and after that, we're going to talk about the handout. So let's start. Page 348, question number 2, 3, 6, 7, 8. Good evening, everyone. It's very, very hot. So Danielle, two cars leave the same point simultaneously. It looks like a motion question, but distance question, go in the same direction along the straight flat road on 35 on 50 miles per hour. At how many minutes will the cars be 5 miles apart? Now, did we talk about this? We did talk about, right, we talked about, putting this as a distance. Yeah, we did. Now, we also said that if we have this kind of a scenario where we have two cars moving in the same direction, we need to calculate their relative rates. By the way, check yourselves. All of these things that I'm telling you right now are things that you guys should know by heart. So if this is 50 mph and this is 35 mph, that means that their relative rate is, what do you do between the 50 and the 35? Exactly. So it's 15 minus 35. So the relative rate is 15 mph. Agreed? Okay. Now, you want them to be 5 miles apart. So basically what you have here is this kind of a scenario. I'm going to put it here. So you want there to be a distance of 5 miles. So remember what we said, we put the distance on top. And we put the speed on the bottom. That way we can calculate the time, right? Because time, what is it? It's this divided by that, right? So 5 divided by 15 is how much time? It's going to be 1/3 of an hour, right?
20 minutes.
Exactly. So it's going to be 2, 0, 2, 0. Never mind. No, it's fine. Unless you want to ask me whether something you did was correct or incorrect. But basically, I just want to solve as many questions as possible today. Yeah, it's the same exact thing. If you have a distance, we said that this is the rate and this is the time, right? So if you have a distance of 5 and a rate of 15, actually it's a relative rate. 15. I'm sorry? It's the same exact thing. Rate is speed. Yeah, exactly. No, but it is important to realize that it's the same word, and they use that word, interchangeably on the examination. Here they use the word. They just used mph. They didn't say speed or rate, but usually, actually, they will use the word rate. Got it? So 5 divided by 15, and that's it. Okay, moving on. Question number 3. Danielle, what is the average speed in miles per hour of a sprinter? Now, we already talked about an average speed. What is an average speed? Yeah, this is a quiz like for everybody else who didn't ask this question, which means that you know how to solve that question. We did.
Total distance over
Yeah, I think you're right. We already solved this. I'm not going to solve it again. Average rate is basically the total amount of distance of the total amount of time. I'm not going to say the same, solve the same question. Last week, if I'm not mistaken, or 2 weeks ago. Maybe, but anyhow, I just don't want to solve it, so I'll solve it with you, personally later. In 3 separate 1 mile races, Alan finishes with times of X minutes, Y minutes, and Z minutes. What is her average speed in miles per hour for all 3 races? Now, average speed or average rate, remember what we said? We said that it's the total amount of distance over the total amount of time. The thing is that I don't know exactly how to solve this question. What do we do if we don't know how to solve a question? What do we always ask ourselves? Is it a must question or is it a maybe question? Now, if it were a maybe question, we would have plugged in what?
Comfy numbers.
No, maybe question answer choices in order to confirm. And must questions, we plug in comfy numbers in order to eliminate. Got it? Now, as far as rates are concerned, what would be the most convenient plug-in? What would it? 60, fantastic. 60 is what?
1 hour.
No,
מספר שמתחלק בהרבה מספרים.
Yes. So what does that mean about rates?
Distance.
Yes. Got it? Listen, all of you need to know this by heart. You guys need to be perfect on this. Got it? So if I don't know how to solve it, I plug in comfy numbers. For algebra, what is the most convenient number? Write it down if you don't know it by heart. 0 plus minus 1 plus minus 2. Great. For geometry, we said that the most convenient plug-in would be a? No. No. 1 for the smallest unit. And then we calculate the other units accordingly, right? So algebra, 0 plus minus 1. Geometry, 1. Percents, obviously we also covered that. It's going to be the 100 for the whole mitzvah. And if we're talking about rates, if we're talking about speeds, right? If we're talking about something that has to be divisible by a bunch of other things, then we plug in the whole as a 60. So here, you know what? I didn't know exactly how to solve the question. So I could have said, okay, let's assume that it's going to be 60 as the distance. But I already have the distance here, right? Of 1 mile, it's a 1 mile race. So what can I do? If I were not to have this, by the way, then plugging in 60 would have made perfect sense. So what do? I'm going to plug in, for these, right? I'm just going to plug in for these various numbers, and it makes sense, by the way, to plug in also a 60 because because 60 correlates to an hour quite well, right? At 60 minutes. Usually we plug in 60 as a distance, but not in this case. So let's assume that x equals 60 minutes. Let's assume that y equals. I'm sorry? It can be 60 as well, but I'm assuming, you know what? I'm thinking about, 10% of people taking on this question would probably have said, 60, 60, 60. But if you do that, then what's going to happen probably is that you're going to have 2 or more answer choices that fit. Got it? Because it's very easy to anticipate that. The trick is, and it's a valuable trick at that, the trick is to plug in comfy numbers, but not very, very obvious numbers, right? So I would have plugged in a 30 here. I would have plugged in a 20 here. Got it? So again, these are numbers that that work out very, very nicely as far as an hour is concerned, right? But they're not as expected as the other numbers. So we know that it's a total amount of distance over the total amount of time. Now, the total amount of distance is 1 plus 1 plus 1. Daniel, agree?
Yeah.
But the total amount of time, if you take a 1 mile race and it takes you 60 minutes, right? In hours, how long is that in hours?
1
hour. Agreed? This is the total amount of time. Now, 30 minutes in hours, how much is that? Half, exactly. That's why we did like the antithesis of plugging in a 60. We plugged in a 30, which corresponds well to a 60. And a 20 minutes obviously is 1/3 of an hour. So if I do that, by the way, and this is a question at a level of about, I would say a 65th percentile, so only 1 out of 3 people would succeed solving it on the examination. However, people who know what to plug in here, probably about, not 1 out of 3, but rather 1 out of 2 would probably succeed in solving this question. Here, I want everybody to succeed solving this question. So, if these are actually the numbers, what we have here is 3 divided by, now I still need to do that, but it's not that big a deal, right? The common denominator is going to be 6, right? 6 plus 3 plus 2. That is 6, all told, that's 11 divided by 6, right? 11 divided by 6, and the 6 goes up, right? So it comes out as 18 divided by 11, right? Everybody agrees if I plug in these numbers, right? Cool. So it's 18 divided by 11. If you have any, what we do today is we do only quantitative for about, I'm assuming mainly quantitative, for about 90 minutes. McGraw-Hill, then course book, then handouts. Then I'm going to give you guys a break. Then we'll come back and we do only verbal. We'll do a verbal section. So, all told, you have 18 over 11. All that you need to do right now is just go into the answer choices and plug in these numbers of 60, 30, and 20 and hope to get 18 over 11. Let's see. This plus that, is that going to be 18 over 11?
No.
What do you think? No, right? Because these are really, really nice numbers. It's going to be, this is much, much greater than 18, and this is far, far less than 11, got it? So that's not gonna be it. This is going to be also probably too small. Right, moving on. This, maybe, I don't know, 60 plus 30 plus 20, that is?
102.
That is 110 divided by 180. Actually, that is
Opposite.
the reciprocal. Reciprocal. Opposite is minus, right? Reciprocal is a echad chilkei, נכון? So the correct answer choice is going to be? Why? Because this one gave me the opposite. Now, what I did basically just here is I solved the question without knowing how to solve the question. I just plugged in numbers. What I wanted to hear from you, Danielle, is this. I was able to solve the question. I didn't know how to solve it mathematically, so I plugged in 60 and 60 and 60, but then two answer choices came out possible. So then I plugged in 60 and 30 and 20, and then only one answer choice came out correct. But I want to be sure. By the way, I didn't go through with the entire thing, right? I didn't plug the numbers here. Why? Because this one already came out correctly, and again, because the first plugin that we thought about was not very expected, that means that the chances are for two answer choices to come out as possible are extremely, extremely slim. Got it? But I should have done that. I should have, 60 plus 30 plus 20. If I plug those in, then it comes out as 11 over 2. And again, we eliminate. It's a must question, right? We eliminate 4 answer choices. Obviously, what's left is the correct answer choice. Now, after you've done all of this, Danielle, you should have told me, okay, so I solved this question using plugins, but I want to know, Yaniv, I want to know how to solve the question mathematically. How do you solve the question mathematically? Average rate is still total amount of distance or total amount of time. And by the way, mathematically, it's much easier if I know it. And that's a big if, right? Remember, if I don't know it, I need to be able to turn on a dime. If I don't know it, within 20 seconds, I need to be able to say, okay, I don't know it, must maybe plug in. But if I do know it, I'm probably going to be able to solve this question in about 45 seconds, whereas plugging in, it took me about 75 seconds. But still, I was able to solve the question. So, total amount of distance is definitely 1 plus 1 plus 1. Now, total amount of time. Here, we have the time. I'm sorry?
I don't know.
No, you do. You have X and Y and Z, but the time is in minutes. You want the total amount of distances in miles, right? You want the total amount of time to be in hours, right? Not in minutes, right? Question, how do you turn 20 minutes, for example, into an hour?
Divide by
You divide by 60, you get 1/3. You get 1/3, which is also something I showed you on the table when we worked on rates of motion. So, this amount of time, if something takes you x minutes, that means that it's going to take you x over 60 hours. If something takes you y minutes, it's going to take you y over 60 hours and z over 60 hours. Got it? Now, I wish I would have known that. This is so easy. This basically is 3 divided by x plus y plus z divided by 60, right? And Rubik, what we said is basically, right, what is 3? 3 is basically 3 over 1, right? And we talked about it. We said that this is like an ear, right? So the 60 goes up and the x plus y plus z goes up as well. So that's going to be 180 divided by x plus y plus z. Oh, come on, this is much easier.
התחלתי את זה ככה, אבל לא עשיתי את ה...
Division by 60?
לא עשיתי את המונה, לא. עשיתי x חלקי 60 ועוד y חלקי 60 ועוד z חלקי 60.
אני כתבתי את זה בראש שלי, אבל לא, בלי דף אפילו.
כן, yeah. You know what? Even though I have a little bit of experience, I wouldn't solve this in my head. I would literally write it down. It's very easy to get confused, yeah. It's very easy to get confused. Good, so this is a good review of exactly what you do with the question when you come across it at home. You can't solve it, must maybe plug in numbers, then you bring it in, and then you ask me about the mathematical way of solving it. This is what I wanted. But you can't always get what you want. A hair, didn't we do this last time as well?
וזה איך אין לי את זה?
I don't know.
הגעתי באיחור לאיזה שיעור.
So again, my apologies, I'm still not going to solve it because it's unfair to the other people. Page, so just, if you want, just write down the questions that you want me to solve with you personally and I will. Page 379, please. 379.
איזה שאלה?
I'm sorry?
איזה שאלה?
Question 9.
זה היה מעכשיו, נכון? אוי, נכון. גם אני לא הבנתי את זה.
יש עוד שאלות ממגרהל? יש עוד שאלות ממגרהל? לא? So, question 9. If line segment AB is rotated 90 degrees clockwise about point B. So, we don't know exactly what to do. What do? We ask ourselves, is it a must question or a maybe question? This is a
Must question.
this is a must question.
Is
there a drawing?
There should be some kind of a drawing here, no?
Is it concept?
Oh, yeah, okay.
צריך לעבור בשלב שלב.
No, I'm not. I'm just gonna do this. So this is line AB. It's rotated 90 degrees clockwise. Clockwise the in kivun hashalom. Now that means it's going to be somewhere here, right? That means it's going to be somewhere. The B is going to be around. You good?
בסדר.
Around the beat.
לא הבנתי איך זהו גם אני.
Please get it. That's very interesting. Okay. No, but it's yours, no? Who's this? It's yours. Okay. So line segment AB is rotated 90 degrees clockwise about point B. So point B is the center. Got it? A second ago I said, okay, it's going to go down here. That is assuming that A is the center. No. If you turn about point B, that means that you turn around point B. Point B is the center, and you're going to move it 90 degrees clockwise, right? So that means that point A is going to go somewhere there, right? Now, if the angle here and the angle between A and B after the rotation has to be a 90-degree angle, that means that it's going to be something along these lines, right? It has to be a 90-degree angle. Got it?
ואז כאילו הסלופ שלנו מפחיד.
Exactly. Got it? This is what it means. So if I were in your shoes and everybody wanted this question, when somebody tells you about point B, that means that B is the center. When somebody tells you, that point A is here and point B not shown is symmetrical about the line. What does it mean? יש עוד נקודה B שהיא symmetric which is symmetrical about the line. That means whatever you have after the word about, that is the point of symmetry. That is the thing that is going to be the center. Got it? So if you have another point that is symmetrical about this line, that means that other point is going to be here. If you have A is turned clockwise about point B, that means that B is going to be the symmetry point. What are the coordinate of the image of point A? Okay, basically you just move it. So what do we say? I'm sorry?
לא הבנתי את השאלה. What are the coordinates of the image of
On the examination, it's probably not going to be here. It's not going to be described that way. They would tell you that, this is line segment AB, and point A is rotated. What are the new coordinates of point B? Point A. That's what they would have asked.
איך אני יודעת?
Okay, what you can do is you can calculate it, right? You can say, well, this is -2 and 1, right?
Yeah.
This is 3 and 3, right?
Yeah.
Now, what is the slope here? Can somebody tell me?
מינוס... של AB.
AB, the original one.
5.
You see that, what did we say a slope was? And I actually asked you guys to remember this very, very well. We said that a slope is...
Y 2 פחות Y.
נכון, השינוי בגובה לחלק לשינוי במרחק, נכון? So what is the change in the height? It went up 2 and it went to the right 5, right? So the slope here is 2 over 5. Everybody sees it? You see it? And it's also a positive slope because it's going up, right? So obviously this one is going to be a negative slope, right? First of all, it's going to be negative. Second, we said that it's going to be the reciprocal, right? So it's going to be -5 over 2. That's what Noe said earlier. Remember that if we have two lines that are... perpendicular. Vertical זה ניצב להוריזון, לקרקע, בסדר? פרפנדיקולר זה ניצבים מונחים זה לזה, בסדר? יש הבדל גם בעברית כשאתה אומר משהו ניצב ומשהו מונח, זה קצת שונה. ניצב זה ביחס לרצפה, מונח זה ביחס למשהו אחר. לרשום את זה בבקשה. Meunach. So meunach is perpendicular. Perpendicular.
vertical זה ניצב?
Vertical is a ניצב, נכון. Now, you can do it in a much more complex manner, but it's definitely, I mean, most of you were able to remember, to know that if this is a slope of 2/5, there's going to be a slope of -5/2, even without knowing the word perpendicular, but I do want you guys to know it. So please remember that if you have S1 and S2, if you have two straight lines that have two slopes, that means that the product of these two slopes is going to be -1. So if one of them was 2/5, the other one is going to be -5/2. Which means that from this point to that point, you would have gone down 5 and would have progressed 2. So you can do it the other way around. You go back 2, and you go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that was just a lucky guess. But I knew that it's going to be a 90-degree angle, but it didn't have to be accurate to begin with. It works. So, by the way, you can also, if you go to the right 2 and up, you go 5, right? That means that from 3 you go 2, so that means it's going to be a 1, right? From 3 you go 5 up, that means that it's going to be an 8. Got it?
אז כן, אז הם כתבו 1 and 8.
Yeah.
לא -5.
No. -5/2 is the slope. But we use the slope. Got it? If this is a slope of 2/5, that means this is a slope of -5/2. If this is a slope of -5/2, that means from this point to that point, you go down a 5 and you go to the right a 2. Got it? שיפוע של -5 חלקי 2 אומר שאת יורדת 5 ומתקדמת 2.
נכון, אבל איך אני לא...
שנייה, תעשי את זה הפוך. אם את יורדת 5 ומתקדמת 2 ומגיעה ל-3, אז כדי למצוא את הנקודה, תלכי 2 אחורה ותעלי 5 למעלה. נכון? It's a complex, it's not a simple question, it's a difficult question, one of the slightly more difficult questions up until now. Now, on the examination, what happens, and have you taken examinations? I asked you guys to take full examinations of these, you have. So in the course book as well? College board, sorry. College board. So college board is exactly the way the examination looks like in real life, which means that you don't get any scratch paper. You work within the booklet. Now, why? Is that an issue? Why? מה יותר נוח?
לרשום את השאלה, אני מפרט אותה.
Oh, you're speaking nonsense. Absolutely. And my other students would kill to have, you know, an interface that you can literally write on the questions. You're absolutely wrong. It's much, much nicer, especially on geometry questions. You know what my GMAT students need to do? No. Generally speaking, it doesn't. No. Here you can just circle numbers within the question. On my GMAT students, you know what they have to do? They need to copy all of the information separately. Now, if you have a lot of time, then cool. But on these examinations, you don't have a lot of time. So writing, the fact that you guys have a booklet is much, much nicer. Much nicer. Okay, so moving on, please. That was question 9. Page 380, questions 6 and 7. Whose are
רגע,
these?
אבל לא סיימנו את השאלה.
You didn't?
מה הקורדינט של A? 1:8.
1:8. אני מבקש לא רק להיות בכיתה, אלא גם להיות נוכחים. page 380, question 6. נוי, בסדר? ראית?
כן. אפשר להסביר חסידים?
את רוצה את השאלה הזאת?
אני לא רוצה, אבל אני באשתי.
אני צריך להבין, אתם מכירים את השאלה? תודה. What is the area in square units of the shaded region in the figure above? Now, what is one, and okay, this is not a very good drawing, but basically they tell you that, you know, these are the coordinates. Who wanted this one? Okay, how did you do it?
לא קודם אתה ואז נראה, אולי זה אותו דבר.
She might approve of your way.
Well, that's very nice. There are a couple of different ways of doing that. I'm assuming that the easiest is to simply divide it down into 2. Yeah. Exactly. So she calls this, let's say for example S1. She calls this, let's say for example S2. שטחים שונים, נכון?
לא, זה מלבן זה.
גם אני חשבתי על זה, אבל מלבן ואז אומר שאתה מחסר שטחים של 4 משולשים שזה קצת מסוג. האמת שגם אני חשבתי על זה בהתחלה, וזו דרך קצת יותר מדי ארוכה, העדפתי משהו.
זה היה חלום.
הדרך שלך יותר לאט. מה?
בגלל שזה אותו קו משטח והוא אנכי, אתה
נכון.
יכול להבין, זה היה טיפה עם
נכון.
זווית, די, אמרת את זה.
נכון מאוד. So basically we have a height, this is the base, right, of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's a height of, that's a base of 8. That is a height of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5. So this area is going to be 8 times 5 divided by 2. This area is going to be 8 by 4 divided by 2. Got it? That's it?
Okay.
So that's going to be 20, and that's going to be a 16, and together that's a 36 square root. Choice is E. Yeah? What do you take away from this? מה אתה לוקח מזה?
זה של המונחים.
חלוקה, נכון. דיברנו על זה אם אני לא טועה, אוריגמי, נכון? אמרנו שאם יש לנו שטחים לא ידועים, אנחנו יכולים לפרק אותם במשולשים. כן, דרך טובה, טל, כל הכבוד, טל. מה וגם?
תראה שלא הצלחתי עם 7, אבל
The sum looks very complicated.
רגע, זה נבלע מה שהבנתי מה עשית.
אוקיי, שאלו אותך לגבי השטח הזה? We divided this area into 2 triangles. Got it? 2 triangles. This one has a base of 8 and a height of 5. נכון? בסיס כפול גובה לחלק 2. This one has a base of 8 and a height of 4. זהו.
יותר קל ממה שאני עשיתי.
כן, כנראה. כנראה שמה עשית? חשבת על הכל? כל זה?
פחות 4 ריבועים, וככה גם היה...
4 משולשים, כן. ככה גם הייתה התשובה. אוקיי, כן. מגרל עושים עבודה טובה, כנראה הכי טובה בעולם, חוץ מה-ATS. הם לא עושים עבודה מושלמת, מגרל. טוב. הרבה פעמים גם סטודנטים שלי בג'ימאט מביאים לי תרגילים שהם ראו פתרונות, ג'ימאט זו הרמה הכי גבוהה, בסדר? אז מסולם 0 עד 100, אם ג'ימאט זה 100, SAT זה בערך 40, 30 ומשהו, בסדר? פסיכומטרי זה... לא, זה לא זיזור, זה אומדן אמיתי לחלוטין. כן, כן, בכמותי, ג'ימאט כמותי זה רצח. זו הבחינה הכי קשה מסוגה בעולם. והם מביאים לי פתרונות פתרונות רשמיים, והפתרונות הרשמיים, כשלפעמים כתובים בספרים, הם בכלל, עזוב, כאילו אם אתה מחשב, אז אולי אתה יכול לפתור את זה ב2.5 דקות, אבל זה בכלל לא ישים, זה לא אנושי לפתור את זה ככה, בסדר? אז הפתרון הזה הוא פתרון באמת קצת יותר אלגנטי, בסדר? גם שעה וגם פעם. אוקיי, שאלה 7. So, figure not drawn to scale, זה ממש הסרטוט הזה הוא לא מהימן. Point A and B lie on the line, y equals a 6. So, I know that their heights are 6 and 6, right? As shown above, line L and line L2, L1 and L2 pass through the origin, right? The origin obviously is a 0, 0. And L1 has a slope of 1/2. L1 has a slope of 1/2. So remember what we said. We said that, well, this is actually, yeah, it's not, this looks, in real life, this looks like a slope of almost a 1, but never mind. This is a slope of 1/2, this is a slope of 1, this is a slope of 7, right? This is a slope of 1, this is a slope of 1/2, this is going to be a slope of less than 1/2, right?
No.
This is a slope, okay, let's try this differently. This is a slope of 1/2, yeah? And this is a slope of 0, right? Which means that this is going to be a slope between 0 and 1/2, right? By the way, this is almost, sometimes you have such questions. They could have asked you which of one could be, give us one possible value of the slope for L2. I don't know what the question is. I just want you guys to feel that this is going to be a slope of less than 1/2, but the slope of L2 is going to be less than 1/2, but it's going to be more than a 0 because it goes up, right? Now, the question is, if this is from A to B is a 4, right? What is the slope of line L2? Is a 4. Okay, now, let's see. We said that in order to calculate a slope, let's reverse engineer it, right? We said that in order to calculate a slope, we need the difference of the height divided by the difference of the distance. Agreed? Now, from here to here, you know what the distance of the height is, right? You know that it's going to be a difference of 6, right? But obviously the entire question revolves around what is this x, right? Obviously this x is going to be that x plus a 4. So